And there's times probably this, late April that we might have thought this might not happen, but we knew it could, and we knew what we needed to do to make it happen. And it's really hard to do when you don't get a top seed. So for us to be able to earn that top seed was huge for this team, especially when you can have a home field advantage like we have and like has developed in these guys' career. The seniors have gone from losing in a regional final to a team at Alabama, and ironically, we had a chance to beat a great team in Alabama to show kind of how this group's improved over the time. So that's really neat. But congrats to Alabama. Great season, great finish to their season, and wish them the best of luck. And we just can't wait to get to our next stop, Oklahoma City.
Questions for the players?
Taylor, 2 years in a row now as a senior on this team. What does it mean to you to lead this captain season?
Yeah, I mean, OKC is always the dream when you're little and you're growing up. Last year it was amazing, but I think finishing off at third, they left a hunger in us and a fight. So to get another chance this year, I'm just really excited, and I know the whole team is just pumped. We're ready to get there.
What did you see on that second pitch of the game?
Yeah, I just got a good pitch to hit. I mean, I think we took some momentum from yesterday's game and brought it to today, so happened to work out and got the game rolling pretty quick.
And Taryn, how big is it, such a big game like this, to come out of the dugout already with the lead?
Coming back from, the last few weeks of not really being in much, it was kind of a relief to go in knowing that we had the momentum. Kind of made my job a little easier, and I didn't care what happened. I didn't care, really, if I gave up hits or whatever, but I wasn't going to let them score. I was going to do everything I could to keep from them crossing the plate. And the runs that we put up helped that, that momentum keep going each inning, and everything out there that I did was for my team.
How do you feel now compared to what you felt earlier this year before the Oregon series? I feel ready to go. I feel motivated. I feel, healthy. I feel ecstatic. I don't know. I'm really emotional about it all. So it's a great feeling to know that, we're going back to OKC, and like Tay said, it's always a dream for every little girl, and to be able to do it twice is pretty awesome.
Taylor mentioned kind of the dip there in the season in April. What was it you said you guys knew we had to do to kind of get back on track? What were some of those steps that had to kind of get things right?
Yeah, I think we learned a lot about ourselves in those couple weeks there, and dealt with some adversity and grew through things together as a group, just communication and what we can do to win the little things in ball games. And that kind of carried on going into the postseason. We had a bye weekend, got our mojo back the end of Pac-12. So I think just stuck together mostly is kind of what's been going on, and our unicorns. I mean, we're diverse and we love playing the game, so that helps.
Taryn, did you feel the same thing? Weird to say something like that. In the end, a positive thing.
Yeah.
You feel like that kind of helped you guys grow as a team?
Oh, for sure. I think everything that, as a team we've been through, even from my freshman year, going to Alabama's and super regionals and, losing in 2 to, this year, I feel like every up and down that we've had as a team, every, life is a roller coaster, and so is softball, and, emotional, everything. I mean, it's awesome to know that we've come together, in so many ways, so.
For either of you, a number of the players on this team specifically became fans of Washington, obviously in the 2009 World Series. Yesterday and today, you've had some players from that team and from other Husky teams of the past. What does it mean to have them coming back to support you after, obviously, that's how you found your fandom in the first place?
Yeah, I think we take a lot of pride in our past, of course, with Coach Tar being an alumni and who she is as a leader. Who came before us, obviously, is what built this program. And just to have them here supporting us in the stands and seeing them after the game, I mean, it means the world to us. And we hope to keep on the legacy that they've built, and not just in the next couple of weeks, but how we live our lives past the World Series.
We're all big family, past, present, and future.
You guys obviously were there last year. What can you take from the experience last year to this year in terms of what can separate you guys farther?
The knowledge that we know, going in as a whole unit. The majority of our team came back from last year. So, I wouldn't say we went in last year not really knowing what to expect, but, we kind of didn't. And now we know what it takes, what it feels like to be on that stage. And I think that's going to help us, for the rest of this ride, is just the knowledge and the information that we've, gathered from last year and this year. So.
Yeah, we're not satisfied with just getting to OKC. It's more what we can do when we get there.
Does it feel that much different, though, being at that next level where you're at that where there's only 8 teams left, the one who's going to walk out national champion?
They put on a good stage there. I mean, OKC, it's the place to be. So there's so many people, so many fans. But when you stick to Husky softball, great things can happen.
Any other questions? All right, players, you can leave.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach?
Taryn, don't fall.
It's my thing.
Heather, what did you see after Taryn?
Pitcher that's learning and continuing to grow and figuring out how to pitch. Really, she's still evolving. That's the greatest thing that I get to do, is work with people that have growth in them and have the desire to grow and learn and be tough. And she's doing that, having to get through a little bit of an injury, but then get her timing back and get kind of. Coach Glasso was awesome with her today. She got off track a little bit, and he's on her, and she's growing right before our eyes. It's great to see.
Physically, is she back to where she was or close to it?
And it's hard to gauge because physically she has everything that anybody needs. And I'm not saying that mentally, emotionally she doesn't, but this age of young person gets to evolve, and it's a pretty cool scene. And for her to be able to throw a complete game, I think it shows, the softball world that she's back.
After 3 straight games of pitching defense and clutch hitting, how is it to see out there just sort of spreading out the offense, getting into the game that they call?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think just for almost a month now, we've been scoring just enough. And for us to be able to Taylor's kind of back to where she was at the beginning of the year, hitting leadoff home runs. I mean, that's obviously a nice blessing to have. But then offensively, just collectively being able to put some things together, 1 through 9, people off the bench. It's great, and that's what we are, and that's who we are as a team. It's not always a guarantee against great pitching that you're going to be able to put up 8, 9 runs, but to put up 6 against a good Alabama team, that says a lot about this team. Yeah, the bottom of the lineup, they're special too. They have special skills, so it's a pretty dynamic offense, not just relying on the power, but relying on our speed.
Playing a little bit different field than last year with not just Taryn now, but playing what she did yesterday too. I don't know. How different is that for you? A nice luxury to have, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a difficult decision, I guess, as you look at the matchup and go into the game more, and a nice problem to have maybe.
Yeah, the only difficult problem is when you do have multiple options and you decide what the matchup is and, maybe when to switch it up. But, I mean, who am I to say that that's hard? But it's awesome to see both of them working together. Nobody's, resentful, which obviously that we don't expect that to happen, but that could easily happen. And Taryn is such a fan of Gabby, and as is Gabby of Taryn. Pretty cool.
We talked about legacy and history of this program, and no one knows it as well as you probably, but what does this mean back to back for you and, for someone who is able to kind of put this in context and respect that?
Going to the World Series multiple years is really hard, and it was something that we went into this year saying that, I personally as a coach haven't done a good job of being able to return once we've gone. And in 2009, we went after we won it all, and I would feel like we went, but we didn't show up. And so that I kind of likened to 2013, when in 14 we had almost the same team and we weren't able to return. We didn't afford ourselves the opportunity. So for us to be able to do it in 2017, 2018, I think it shows a lot of growth in our program, in what we're going to do as a program and what we need to continue to do, because it's not easy, but it can be achieved.
How long do you get to celebrate this as you're watching it out the door here?
Yeah, I just think it should never get old. And I think this year, achieving what we did today felt different than it did last year for this group against Utah. I mean, the game was a little closer against Utah last year in the last out, but I think, you know, last night was a really big celebration, and for us to like calm down after that was probably harder than it's going to be for us to do that after today. But I think, like, you know, they said they're ready. They know a little bit more about putting foot on Oklahoma City's, you know, field, and all that stuff is behind them, and they have the experience.